as educating the public about the science behind CBD. Please welcome to the show with me today, Dr. Young Trin. Hello, Dr. Trin.
Hi, thanks for the invite here.
Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here and just to get to talk to you again because I heard you speak at the Cannabis World Congress a while ago, and I was like, I need him on the show.
Here I am.
Here you are. So first, tell us a little bit about your medical background and how you got in the cannabis space.
So it's very interesting. I never went to medical school to focus on this space, and so how I got into this space is the fact that I take care of a lot of patients.
Yeah.
A lot of them are seniors and older. A lot of them are from a community called Laguna Woods.
Okay.
Laguna Woods, you may or may not have heard about Laguna Woods.
Yeah.
18,000 retirees,
Yeah.
over 200 clubs,
Wow.
and many are my patients. And so what happens is folks are seeing me for, their brain health and Alzheimer's and memory loss, but every other patient's bringing in a jar or a bottle of CBD oil. Doc, what do you think of this? Should I take this? And what do you think of this ingredient? And I'm like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
And this is happening to all physicians throughout the country, not just me, right? Because this is obviously a big boom.
Yeah.
And so my first initial answer was, you know what, I'm not sure about that. Let's change the topic. Let me write you this prescription for your pain medicine, your Vicodin, your Norco, your narcotics, and because I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, of course.
But because I'm in research and because I am in clinical research, I have access to a lot of data.
Right.
And because I couldn't keep telling my patients, I don't know, talk to somebody else, change the conversation, I decided to actually look into this. And so I went to a website. It's that's backed by like the National Institute of Health's government website where all the data is stored.
Okay.
It's a site called PubMed, and I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's available online, and so I just typed in and did a search on cannabis, and lo and behold, there's over 18,000 research articles
Oh, wow.
published on this topic. It just kind of blew my mind.
Know. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yes,
That's amazing.
yes. And I'm like, what the? That's crazy.
Where all this come from?
Exactly. And so I grew up in church, right? Went to this really conservative church, Calvary Chapel. I don't know if you ever heard of Calvary Chapel. And I have always grown up being taught that anything related to marijuana is sinful, right? When I think of marijuana, I think of potheads. I think of a guy sitting there smoking all day, no job, no shirt, right? And that forever has been what's been in my mind.
In most people's mind,
most
right?
people's mind. But at the same time, I'm looking at the data. I'm looking at the research data, and I was just blown away. And I dug into this system called the endocannabinoid system. I looked to see how does marijuana work in our body, and when I drew some conclusions after a few months of looking in, I realized that my patients aren't using this because they want to get high.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if the clubs in Laguna Woods, it's over 200 clubs where retirees go to and participate. There's hiking club, jogging club, Korean club, cooking club.
Okay.
Last year, the largest club was the cannabis club.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And many of these were my patients. They're in this club. And initially, I'm like, you don't look like the person that want to get high. Why are you in this club? The cannabis club. And I'm starting to realize now that they're in this club because they're cutting out and reducing their narcotic use, their opiate use.
They're feeling better from right?
Yeah, they're lowering their Vicodins and Norcos and fentanyls and the stuff that I prescribe all day, right? Yeah. And it was just an eye opener. Our patients, especially our seniors, right? They're using it because it's taking care of their health. Yeah. And they're able to try to escape this epidemic called the opioid epidemic that's been killing millions of Americans. Yeah. And that's how I got into it.
That is so great that you were open to that because a lot of physicians, because that's not what you've studied, you don't know. And so, like you said, let's change the conversation. Let's move on to something else. So Yay for you for researching this.
It's not just me anymore. We have a physician CBD council.
Yeah, tell us about the council.
So I started the council, and I started because not just for myself, but for the physician colleagues around us who get asked the same questions from all of our patients.
Yeah.
I shared the data. I shared a lot of this data with my colleagues, and they're like, holy moly, we see now why this is so popular.
Yeah.
So we created this council called the Physicians CBD Council. And it's just physiciancbdcouncil.com. We're really popular on Facebook. And what our reason, our purpose for existence is this. We have 3 missions. Mission number 1 is to advocate for more research. We need more research.
Right.
We need more
Yes.
data.
Absolutely.
Right? And because I'm in the field of clinical research, right, it's right where I sit. That's mission number 1. Mission number 2 is to educate and bring out to the public the data. The data from the research. What does the research say? What are the health benefits? What are the side effects?
Right.
Show the whole picture.
Which is what you do with every drug, right?
With every drug, 100%.
Right.
And so this is what we do today. We promote research on our Facebook page, Physicians CBD Council. Every time new research is being published, we publish it on there so that people can keep up to date on
cool.
Facebook. And then we go out and we do lectures. This is my second talk this week on cannabis. Right, I was on TV a few days ago talking about the same topic. I'm slowly becoming Dr. Weed. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not.
I think it is, Dr. Trent. Own it.
Right. But
Wow.
that's what the council's about, education.
Are you educating normal people like me or physicians or both?
Both.
Okay, great.
Both. I'm doing national webinars now for
Nice.
to physicians.
Good.
I'm doing a webinar every month nationally
Great.
with organizations, and of course, I went and spoke to the National Congress or the Congress on Cannabis recently. I speak almost every week. It's not my only topic. Obviously, I speak on a lot of topics, but it is one of the most requested topic.
Okay.
Right?
Are
Tell
you
us about.
Well, are you finding that a lot of physicians are being more open to this, or are they still kind of giving you that, oh, no, we don't know about this? And
Physicians are driven by data.
yeah.
If you show the published medical reports and the data, it's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or don't like it, it's what it is. We're
Right.
driven by data. So my mission is to provide that data.
Good.
And that's what we do. I've spoken at hospitals, I've spoken at physician organizations, and but I love the most speaking just to everyone else, right? Patients, seniors. I'm in community centers on a monthly basis throughout Orange County, and CBD is one of the most popular topic that's always packed the room.
Yeah, and you probably see that light bulb go on, I imagine, and people's
Huge.
like, oh my gosh, wow, I don't have to take all this other stuff that's giving me all these negative side effects. I can take this plant
Huge
that gives
light bulb.
me, and that's so great.
Yeah.
Yay for you.
Many patients are reducing their meds for sure. Yeah.
Well, can you tell the listeners about the benefits of CBD and THC from a medical perspective then? Just a little snippets?
Sure, little snippet. So I don't even have to use the word CBD or THC. All I have to use is the endocannabinoid system. So your question is, what the heck is that? The endocannabinoid system, right? So this endocannabinoid system has been around as long as your heart system's been around, your lung system's been around, your kidney system's been around, your endocrine system's been around. But this system's only been discovered in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Right? But it's been around forever. The way we discovered it was that Israeli scientists was studying the marijuana plant. What they did was they took apart the compounds of the plant. Do you know how many compounds are in this plant?
I've heard there's like 120, and they're still discovering more. Is that correct?
Over 100 for sure. There's
Yeah.
over 100, right? We call them cannabinoid compounds.
Yeah.
The two most popular compounds is obviously THC and CBD,
Yeah.
right? Of this plant with over 100 compounds, it's just one compound that makes you high, right? So that's the THC.
Yeah.
All the other compounds, they don't make you high. And they all have health data. We have the
Yeah.
data on all of them.
Yeah.
And the way we discovered this compound was the Israeli scientists, they took apart the plant they identified the compounds and they tagged each compound with like a tracer.
Mm-hmm.
And they had patients take the compounds, and they traced the compounds to see where it ended up in your body,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Where does
Okay.
CBD end up in your body?
Yeah.
Where did THC land in your body? Did it
Mm-hmm.
land up in your brain? Did it hit your heart? Did it go to your lungs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, they mapped out an entire system called the endocannabinoid system.
Wow.
That was how it was discovered,
Mm.
right? By tracing the compound.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the endocannabinoid system doesn't need a plant to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Your body makes its own endocannabinoid hormones
Yeah.
to stimulate the plant and to activate the system.
Okay.
So the next question is, why does it even exist? What is this endocannabinoid system? What's the purpose
Right.
of the endocannabinoid system, right? Why is it there? So the endocannabinoid system, the purpose of the system is to bring balance to your body,
Okay.
to bring balance to your body. Anytime your body is out of whack, out of balance in any way, the endocannabinoid system activates and it brings that whatever's out of balance back into balance.
Mm.
In medical terms, we call it the state of homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
Homeostasis. It's kind of like you're familiar with the Chinese yin and yang,
Yeah.
that circle that
Right.
half of it's white, half of it's black.
Yes.
And in Chinese medicine, if you have more yang than you have yin, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Disease starts and things of that sort. Or if you have more yin than you have yang, you're in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because your body's supposed to be in balance, right?
Right.
The endocannabinoid system is the yin and yang of your body,
Wow.
right? Anytime your body's out of whack, it activates to bring it back into balance.
Mm.
I'll give you a few examples. When you have a fever, right? When you have a fever, your body's temperature is out of balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's above 98.6, right? That normal temperature level, it's up to whatever. The endocannabinoid system kicks in to bring your temperature back down,
That's so amazing.
right?
Yeah.
Or let's say you're going to bed, it's bedtime and you're supposed to be sleeping, but if your brain is like super wired and it keeps running and you can't fall asleep,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a state of mind that is out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
The endocannabinoid system kicks in to bring that out of balance state of mind down, which is why it helps you to fall asleep, which
Okay.
is why patients take CBD to help them sleep,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or if you are in a state of anxiety, if you're
Mhm.
always anxious, that is a mental state that's out of balance, isn't it?
Mhm, mhm.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
The endocannabinoid system kicks in, right? And it brings that anxiety state back into balance, which is why people take, this stuff to help them with stress, to help them with anxiety, which is
Yeah.
why it works.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah,
Have you
absolutely.
are you guys runners? Have you ever done track, cross country, things of that sort?
Yes, I was a triathlete, so
So,
yes.
so here you go, you're running, your body gets super tired,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, for some reason, you get this second win,
Yeah.
and it keeps you going, right? We
Right.
call it the runner's high. Ever
Uh-huh.
experienced that?
Uh-huh.
So, when you're running, right, you're grinding your muscles, you're grinding your bones, it's just pumping. Guess
Yeah.
what? It's heating up your body,
Right.
right? It's heating up your body. Your body heats up during the run,
And your body's saying stop.
right? Your body's saying stop. Your body's saying stop. What is the role of the endocannabinoid system when your body heats up? Right? It's a state that's out of whack,
Yeah.
right? Your body
Yeah.
heating up. The endocannabinoid system kicks in and it gives you that second win, that
I love
runner's
that.
high. That's
That
how
is a
it
great
works,
visual. I love that. So
right?
when I was doing my triathlon and ready to die, there's my endocannabinoid system
It
saying
kicks
keep
in.
going.
100%.
Yeah, wow.
100%, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And it just so happened, I have no clue why, it just so happens that this plant binds to the system. We don't
Okay.
know why. We
Yeah.
don't know why. We don't know why it's a hemp plant or the
Mhm.
cannabis plant, right?
Mhm.
It binds to the system. That's
Mhm.
what it does. That's what the data shows. And that's why it works,
Okay.
because it's activating the endocannabinoid system.
Well, so how does the plant come in? How does it, if our body has this endocannabinoid system that's supposed to bring us back into the balance
Right.
that's within us, how does the plant add to that?
Well, the CBD, the THC, the compounds, it binds to the same receptors of the
Okay.
system. It binds to the exact same receptors that your own endocannabinoid hormone binds to.
So it's like a boost, basically, of our
Yes,
endocannabinoid system.
100%.
Okay, great.
100%, right? It
Yeah.
either binds directly or indirectly, right?
Mm-hmm.
THC binds directly,
Mm-hmm.
right? CBD binds indirectly.
Okay.
It indirectly activates it, but that's what it does.
Okay.
It helps to bring the body into balance. So this is why patients are taking it for chronic pain,
Mm-hmm.
because chronic pain is a state of inflammation.
Right.
Inflammation is a system that's out of balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? The endocannabinoid system,
Yeah.
you activate it with CBD or whatever, it kicks in
Mm-hmm.
and it brings inflammation down. It
Yeah.
helps with pain.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I've
amazing.
just explained the science
I
to
love
you.
it. Thank you for explaining that. And it's I like that visual of the yin and yang.
Right?
Now I'm going to think of you every time I see that
Oh, great.
symbol. I'm like, oh, the
Last-
endocannabinoid system. So I
last
think
year,
that's great.
last year, the FDA approved the first CBD medication.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
The first CBD medication was approved by the FDA last year. It
Wow.
meant it went through phase 1 clinical trials, phase 2 clinical trials, phase 3 clinical trials. The medication is called Epidiolex.
Okay.
It's a tincture, right, under your tongue for the treatment of childhood seizures.
Okay. Great.
It's successful over 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it makes sense because seizures is basically, right, your brain just firing,
Yeah.
right? It won't stop, which
Yeah.
is why you get seizures. It's a state of brain, a brain state that's out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
So the endocannabinoid system kicks in and it calms down all that firing of the brain cells,
Okay.
which is why it helps with seizures.
Wow. And so since it's been approved, that will be
Yeah.
covered by insurance.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Here's
That's huge.
It's huge. So that's the good part. Here's the
Yeah.
bad part. Because it's approved, it's now super expensive.
Yeah.
That one medication.
Yeah, of course.
$32,000 a year, to be specific,
Oh, wow.
for just isolated CBD.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so helpful that, well, we're getting there. I keep
Yeah,
saying that.
we're
We're
getting
getting there, right? Well,
Yes.
so can I ask you, because I have a lot of people say, I see my regular doctor and I want to ask about cannabis, or how can I tell him I'm taking cannabis? Or, I have a friend who was taking cannabis because she had a scare of lung cancer. And she kept telling me, I can't tell my doctor I'm taking cannabis because they're going to kick me out of, the treatments,
Right.
the treatment regimen. So how does a patient talk to their doctor about cannabis? Or what do you suggest?
Oh, my. It's not an easy
That's a
conversation.
loaded question, I know.
because not necessarily that it's not easy on just the patients, not easy on the doctors.
Right.
Most of us physicians are not trained on cannabis.
Yeah.
Right? We're just always been told it was a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's changing. I'm going to many medical conferences now where medical cannabis is a topic in the lecture.
Good.
So physicians are starting to open up to
Good.
learn about it.
Mhm.
Not because we want to, but because the patients are already there waiting for us.
You have to, yeah.
Right? The
Yeah.
science is catching up,
Right.
but the patients are already there. But definitely, I believe that you probably should tell your doctor. And here's why. Here's why. There are side effects to both CBD and THC,
Okay.
right? One of the side effects that I'll mention is this. CBD filters through your liver,
Mm-hmm.
filters through a system called a cytochrome P450, filters through CBD when you take it.
Okay.
But that system filters not just CBD, that filter through other medications you are taking,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So let's say you're on 10 pills and 5 of those pills filter through your liver,
Okay.
and then you got CBD on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
The liver can only filter through at a certain rate.
Okay.
It can't filter everything at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So imagine if you're on a blood thinner, if you're on Coumadin, warfarin, one of these super blood thinners that filter through your liver,
Mm-hmm.
and you are taking CBD, something's not being filtered,
Okay.
right? If it's filtering through your CBD, what's going to happen to your blood thinning?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be super thin. You can bleed.
Yeah.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
That's why your
absolutely.
doctor should know.
Okay.
And here's another one. If you're on CBD or THC, the studies have shown that if you're going to go to surgery, whether it's outpatient or inpatient, you need a higher dose of anesthesia than a patient who's not on it.
Okay. If you're on CBD, you need
Yeah,
a higher dose
CBD,
of
THC,
anesthetics.
you
Okay.
need a higher dose. And if
Okay.
your doctor doesn't know that,
Yeah,
right?
that's a big deal.
Right? That's what the study shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are reasons why. Now, your doctor may not know anything about CBD or THC, but your doctor may know which one of your medications filter through your liver,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Tylenol,
Yeah.
right? Coumadin, anti-seizures. So they can kind of help you guide through that
Okay.
as far as side effects.
Okay, well that's good to know. Thank you for saying that, because I know a lot of people have those questions and they're afraid and I'm afraid to tell my doctor. I don't know what to say. I don't want to sound stupid. I don't, so thank you for that, because that's
No problem.
a big question that
Your
we get.
doctor may be using a CBD cream himself.
Right. He doesn't want to tell us, right?
That's right.
Well, so I know you have many stories.
Yes.
Being a physician, with success and with adverse effects of cannabis. Can you tell us maybe a story or two of somebody who's had success, maybe somebody who hasn't? Do you have any of those?
Totally. I was speaking this morning at another event this morning, and I had a patient come up and was just ecstatic that they had been leery of CBD before until one of my lectures, and came and told me that they cut down on their tramadol for their joint pain.
That's a great.
And I'm like, yes, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a cure-all for everybody.
Right.
But man, if I can get a few patients off their narcotics,
Yes.
right? They cut down their tramadol. And it was just a cream, right? They went out and got a cream somewhere. And to me, that was like a win.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
If you can take less pills, especially narcotics, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
It was just a win.
Any adverse effects that you've heard?
Adverse effect. Yeah, well, if you take CBD at night and it helps you sleep, that's therapeutic. If you take the same CBD in the morning and you are falling asleep and you can't go to work, that's an adverse effect.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense, right? You
Right?
got to work, right?
That's how you look at it, right?
Okay, well that's a good adverse effect. Well, so what do you see going forward in the medical field dealing with cannabis? Anything that
More
you
clinical trials.
Okay.
UCLA now has a center. UC Davis has a center. UC Berkeley has a center.
Good.
UC Irvine has a center for clinical research for cannabis. UCSD. Yeah, more studies.
More research the better,
More research
right?
the better.
Yeah.
And you got to get awareness and education out. That's
Okay.
number one.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's educated. Nobody's heard about the endocannabinoid system
Yeah, until
Right?
recently. Yeah.
until recently.
Until we have you to tell us.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, gosh, I wanted to stay here for another hour. Paul's telling me to cut off again. Gosh, Paul, come on. But thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you taking the time, because I know you are so busy, and our goal here is to educate, and so really appreciate your time.
Anytime you want education, let me know. I'll be back.
All right, great. Well, we'll have Dr. Trim back on. So thank you, everybody, for being here today. We really appreciate you being a part of the My Jane community. And I want to remind you, if you're listening via Apple Podcasts, please rate, review, and subscribe so more people can find My Jane, My Story and learn more about this great plant. And just a little quote I want to leave you with that I found from a doctor. Every 19 minutes, somebody dies of a prescription drug overdose. It simply doesn't happen with cannabis. So take that with you today. But tune in with us next week. We will have Chef Matt Stockard here talking about infusing foods with cannabis and the benefits of edibles. So again, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Drink your water, hydrate, eat your veggies, and we will see you next week. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to My Jane, My Story. If you want to learn more, you can join the My Jane community at myjane.com. Get instant access to our Facebook group, Facebook community, educational resources, and updates on My Jane products and special events. And for personal attention right now, you can also pick up the phone and call 833-MY-JANE2. That's MYJANE2. And speak to your own wellness concierge, because it's time to own your wellness. Be well.